Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, it's time to have a little bit of a reminder, a refresh, call it what you will, about exactly how much you should be paying for Pokemon TCG booster boxes. We did this video a little while ago, but I think it's fair to say that since then, things have changed, and stuff comes in and out of stock as you go, and prices fluctuate, so this seems like a pretty good time to roll through. We are going to be looking at all of the booster boxes in Sword and Shield. Obviously, that means we are not touching the extra mini sets. Things like Shining Fates and Celebrations do not have booster boxes, and therefore are not going to be the focus of this video, due to the whole not having booster boxes. We cool? Cool. So we might as well start off with the Sword and Shield base set, which incidentally, when you're searching around, is super annoying, because all of the others are called Sword and Shield so-and-so, so actually trying to find a Sword and Shield base one, kind of annoying. And I gotta warn you, at this stage, we are getting to the point now where things are getting way more awkward in terms of Sword and Shield. Like, if you go over to Amazon, you're going to be paying 180 quid for a booster box, bearing in mind 144-ish is the RRP, how much you should be paying. So these are starting to become very difficult to find around recommended retail price. It's awkward, and I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way we are, unfortunately. Most stores are not selling this for RRP anymore. If we head on over to eBay, again, it's kind of awkward to actually search, because, well, all of them listed as Sword and Shield, but it is still possible to find them for somewhere around RRP. Now, there are a couple on UK eBay, and we will look at the US price as well, don't worry. One of them is being sold for $139.99, which is almost bang on retail, and one is being sold for $158.95, which is a little bit higher. Like I say, we are getting to that stage. Over in the US, I'm afraid it's not quite as pretty. It is more difficult to find it for RRP over there. You're looking at around about $200, unfortunately. The price there it's risen a little bit, unfortunately, and that's kind of rubbish, and I am sorry. Now, in terms of Rebel Clash, this for a long time was the set that basically nobody wanted, nobody was interested in, and it really was kind of the pariah of the Pokemon TCG world. Now, as I'm searching around, there aren't many shops that are listing Rebel Clash. Usually when I search there's a few shops it comes up. Rebel Clash, not so much, unfortunately. Most of the bigger stores just aren't listing it. When I Google it, just doesn't come up so easily. So the best thing to do is head on over to eBay. And over on eBay, in the UK, we are getting to the point where it is becoming more difficult to find. The top three results are nearer 200, 200, and 170. The price is starting to creep up. Now, I will say there are a couple which are being bid on, which could end up going a little bit lower. But as it stands at the moment, you know, the recent solds are just shy of 200 quid as well. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Rebel Clash, although it's really kind of the pariah set, the one that nobody really wants, because it's a few years old now and all of that, it is starting to get to an annoying point. Good news is actually a little bit cheaper over in the US. There are a couple of listings for $175, so in the US at least Rebel Clash is slightly cheaper, although again, you're still talking $30 above RRP, and that's for the Pokemon TCG set that a bunch of people just basically don't want, which is a little bit weird. Now, moving over to Darkness Ablaze, this is a bit of a weird one, because Darkness Ablaze isn't a great set, but it's got the Charizard and all of that in there. So, for instance, over at PokemonSingles.co.uk, you can pick up a box for £125 plus shipping. I will say, and this does need to be pointed out, I'm going to give you examples of random stores that have got them in stock, so I want to give you an example of rough prices. I am not affiliated with any of these stores. I am not recommending any of these stores. That is extremely important. There we go. So we head on over to eBay then, which is where a lot of people are going to end up going to look for these. Buying a sealed box, buy it now. we are still able to dip just a little bit below RRP. Not a huge amount, admittedly, but we got one on here for 140, one on here for 120. This is, and it's close, don't get me wrong, it is close, but you are able to still pick these up for a little bit below RRP, kind of 130. Seems to be about the average price for Darkness Ablaze in the UK. So although it's only a little bit below, it is still a little bit below. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is rather lovely. Over in the US, we see a similar kind of thing. You know, the top two results coming up, we got $120 and $130. You should be paying $143.64 if I remember correctly. So it's not a huge saving. But again, with Sword and Shield and Rebel Clash, we were slightly above RRP. Here, we've dipped a little bit below. And as a side note, you should kind of expect this. As sets get older, they get more expensive. If you want to make money on boxes of Pokemon cards, they will all end up well above RRP. You've just unfortunately got to wait a little while to get to the stage where they are. And if you're willing, great news. But other than that, yeah, you got to wait, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Now, moving over to Vivid Voltage, that is, again, pretty much out there. I mean, over on Zatu Games, you can pick a booster box up for, like, less than £1 below RRP, but still, it is below RRP, and as far as I'm concerned, that absolutely counts. It is weird looking at older booster boxes online. So many stores only carry the more recent boxes, which is why I'm giving you kind of random shops as an example. Heading over to eBay, trying to buy a sealed box here. Again, you're looking a similar kind of thing, which is to say, just below RRP. So over here, we've got one for £130, which is only a little saving, admittedly, but it is still a bit of a saving on RRP, so that's rather lovely. Over in the US, things are actually looking a little bit easier. You can pretty much casually pick these up for $115, $120. Bearing in mind that we do have the exchange rate to think about. So when I'm telling you $120, that is not the same as £120. It's actually a fair bit less than £120. It is £88. So when I'm telling you that in the UK, Vivid Voltage, you can pick it up for like $120, but in the US, you can also pick it up for $120. That's not the same $120, ladies and gentlemen. In the US, that is significantly less. So if you do want Vivid Voltage, might I suggest, now is not a bad time to go after it in the US. It is proving quite cheap. And then, of course, the fifth set, we all know by now it's Battle Styles, and you know where we're going with this. Battle Styles fit into this beautiful time where everything was being just bought out, Pokemon-wise. So then Pokemon just started printing loads more, and Battle Styles was the point of the Pokemon TCG, where Pokemon was printing loads and loads and loads and loads and loads, and the scalpers got kind of bored because there was too much of it, and then the price has crashed. You can pick up a booster box of this on Zatu Games for £100. You can pick it up, a booster box, on eBay. Again, buy it now for around about £100. And over in the US, you can pick it up. Apparently, I mean, there's a listing here for 100, a listing here for 79, and a listing here for 66 from China. Don't trust that one. It's too cheap. It's not the fact that they're coming from China, although lots of fake cards do come from China. It's the fact that $66 is too cheap, and it's coming from the place where most fakes originate. That is a classic example of a listing you should not trust. But $79 for a booster box of Battle Styles? That is ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you for a while, Battle Styles is extremely cheap, and I meant it because it is. Moving over on into Chilling Reign, and we are getting to the stage now where these do tend to just be in stock in most stores. So using Zatu as an example, because this tends to be one of the cheaper ones apparently, this is just readily there in stock, ready to buy for £104. Yes, that is about the same price as we were paying for Battle Styles. Yes, that is incredibly cheap. This is another example of what we saw from Battle Styles. This is where the scalpers were starting to give up on the booster boxes because Pokemon was starting to print so much it wasn't worth it. Over in the UK on eBay, you can pick this up pretty casually for about £110. Over in the US, you're not paying that much. I mean, 100, 83, 84, so about 85. And again, $85 for a booster box is absurd. We don't see prices that cheap in the UK, incidentally. Like, even when we see, £100 for a booster box is really quite cheap, but you guys are paying like 65 quid, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. That is crazy cheap. So again, these are boxes that if you want to be picking them up, now is a really good time. Vivid Voltage, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, these are all boxes which can be picked up very, very cheaply. Might I suggest it is a pretty good time to do so, if you have the fund and the wherewithal. Now, with Evolving Skies, this is where it starts to creep up a little bit. So over on travelingman.com, you can pick one of these up for £120. So again, we're still below RRP here, let's be clear. But whereas Battle Styles and Chilling Reign are kind of almost dumb cheap, this is creeping up a little bit to a more respectable number because it's a more recent set and Evolving Skies has got all the EVs, etc. People love it. If you want to buy a sealed box on eBay, you're looking at somewhere in the region of £130. If you want to buy them over in the US, you are looking at around about $120, $130. Again, I've left that listing on the screen in the middle. $70 from China. No! Don't buy that. Those are almost certainly counterfeit cards. It's a great example of the kind of where you go, oh, that's significantly cheaper than the others. And it's coming from the place where the majority of Pokemon fakes originate. For those who don't know, the fakes are generally printed in China. Not a hard and fast rule, but a lot of them do originate from there. Don't do it. Don't buy that. They are definitely going to be fake. So you're getting nearer to RRP here, but you can still pick it up a little bit below. And then we end up at Fusion Strike. And I told you the other day, the Fusion Strike was not selling quite as well as some of the other sets. And that I've been speaking to a bunch of people who kind of have this in stock, ready to go. But for instance, the lovely folks over at Millibods Gaming are selling this for £115. I am not affiliated with Millibods Gaming. I do sponsored videos with them occasionally, and I do use them. They are my favourite store. But this is not a sponsored video. I'm not telling you to use them. I am telling you that I am a fan of them and I do use them. But it is very much up to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a sponsored video. But that's cheap. And the reason is, like I keep telling you, Fusion Strike is just not selling as well as some other sets. Over on eBay, you can pick a box up again for 115 quid. There is a listing there for 105 as well. And over in the US, like we've seen for other recent sets, you guys are paying like $85, $90 for a booster box right now. That's absurd. And okay, fine, Evolving Skies is more expensive, but Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike, Battle Styles, 3 of the past 4 sets, you guys can be picking up for like 65 quid English money. I am jealous. I am very, very jealous. Although these do generally tend to ship to the UK and they're not hideous shipping. Maybe I should be buying these. I don't know. All I know is, ladies and gentlemen, that is your booster boxes. Generally speaking, year 1 of the Sword and Shield TCG, you're talking the base set to Vivid Voltage, those prices are starting to creep up. We saw that, even Rebel Clash, which is not a sought-after set, is starting to creep up and become difficult to find at RRP, just like the base set. Whereas the second year from Battle Styles to Fusion Strike is generally pretty cheap. Of the second year sets, the only one that you should be expecting to pay more than $100 for a box on eBay in the US is Evolving Skies, and that's because it's the set that's got Eevee and Rayquaza and all that other stuff in. It's the best Sword and Shield set, right? We know that by now. That is the best of the Sword and Shield sets, and I don't think that's a particularly controversial statement. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know which boxes you've picked up. I want to know if this video has inspired you to pick up any boxes. And now, if people are telling me, hey, Wassy, how much should I be paying for a box? Well, now you know, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know. So tell me what you think about this. Tell me which boxes you've got. Tell me which boxes you're going to buy. Tell me which ones you think are going to go up in the future. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.